Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Meditation Sunday, new program that we throwing in on Sundays. Yeah, we're gonna rock the house today. We got a lot of information to go through because what I have come to learn that we have not been taught this meditation, and the reason why it connects you to the divine. And here today, I'm here to help people get involved with their spiritual growth, and that means you got to tap into your higher self, and you got to have the tools to do it with, and that's the big thing about it. Meditation is one of the key components to getting back your spiritual sight, because what we seen in our walk is we don't know that God is right here within us. A lot of people are thinking that we are so far away from God. Well, consciously you are. And so meditation bring you back closer with love and with gratitude. It'll bring you back too. And once you come back into uh, proximity of the divine, you get all your spiritual attributes start opening up, things that you weren't even aware that you had within your being. And that's what is amazing and so exciting for me. It's always been exciting to just sit down and acknowledge the divine right before us. That's a blessing. It's a blessing just to know that information. And I got a lot of people to bear witness to what I'm saying is divine truth. You know, a lot of times we think we by ourselves on this journey, but it's people that have the same walk and same practices to build their spiritual godly character again. Because like I always tell people, you never lost it, you just didn't know how to use it, and you didn't know that you had it. So once you start getting in the presence of the divine, things just start popping in harmony. And that's what the universe, divine God, want us to be, in harmony with it. In the scriptures, you know that it was written that God called Abraham his friend. God want to commune with us, want us to sit down before him and honor his presence, and with thanksgiving and gladness and joy, and be happy because it's right here. But I'm going to show you what happened in in Genesis at the beginning. We're gonna go to Genesis. Okay. We got to understand that, like I say, we've been pointed in the directions where they wanted us to go in order to keep us from understanding the biblical text. In the mastermind, Jesus and Joshua, Moses, and all these characters in the Bible, it's all talking about you and your walk in this what we call dream state. Now, here's the thing. Here's what happened in the garden. And let's go to verse 6 before we go to 7. Just listen to it and think about this. Think about what I'm finna tell you and read it for yourself and reread it and read it again and read it again until you can get this. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, okay, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, and she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Now, I want you to just walk with me with this, because in order to get the grasp and internalize this, then you're going to realize what is causing you your problems. And this is what we're here to do, to heal, to help people open their minds back to the source that they came from, and the only source, the only presence that they came from. Now listen, she saw it. That means she was looking with her eyes, and she gave it a thumbs up. She saw it was good. Okay. Now she saw it, she seen it with her eyes, then she desired it. She tasted. Then she looked at it again and seen it was something that will make her wise. Okay. Now she took of it. She touched it. Okay. She using all her five senses in this chapter 3, verse 6. She using all her five senses in here. And this is what blocking your spiritual sight to see the divine all around us, in us, moving around through us. This is what you got to open your heart to and mind to, that your five senses is blocking what you should be getting. And the eyes of them both were open. Listen to what it said. And the eyes of them both were open. So if they was open, then that means they was in some kind of meditative state. Oh my God. They was in some kind of meditation state. And when they ate of that fruit, both of their eyes became open. So here's the thing. Look at what it's telling you. They knew that they was naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. Listen, all of this is symbolic to tell you that your true reality is when your eyes is closed. Let's go. Let's go to meditation. Let's go to meditation. And we're going to see what meditation is. That's why I named it Meditation Sunday, so we can get an understanding of it. Now, we're going to be talking about other topics on Sundays, but this is one of the main ones to open your eyes to true reality. Metaphysics, meaning of meditation, continuously and contemplating thoughts to dwell mentally on anything, realizing the reality. See, when you close your eyes to meditate, you going into silence. That is the true reality. I'm going to say that again. When you close your eyes and go into meditation, that is the true reality. Oh my God. Yeah. The true reality. Realizing the reality of the absolute. The absolute. Well, what is the absolute? That is God presence. That is God omnipotent presence. The divine mind, the all. You in the presence of that reality. And once you go into that reality and sit down in the silence, listen to what happened. A steady effect of the mind to know God. Man's spiritual approach to God. The purpose of meditation is to expand the consciousness, Christward, to bring into realization divine truth, to be transformed spiritually, your soul and body, by the renewing of your mind. And that's what it's telling you, that meditation is doing way more than you think it's doing. Meditation is doing way more than you can comprehend. You sitting down there in a relaxed state, and when you close your eyes, you just went into a whole nother reality, the true reality. The true reality. That's real talk. You know, that's the true reality of being. When you go insideward and sit down, you are going into the absolute, where there's no limitations, there's no problems, there's no hassles, there's no anger, bitterness, hatred. All of that is gone, because you have entered into a state of consciousness. Let me let Reverend Ike talk to y'all a little bit, because he is one of the most famous ones that really put me in a position to realize what is going on. Okay. So okay, here we go.
Of God, and this will address that question. I say that God is thought, and the Lord is the law by which thought operates. And in the Bible, God says, I am. And to me, I am is the revelation of God as thinking. And so I say that God is a man's very own thought, and the presence of God is in every man as mind. And God says again in the Bible, command you me. And so when a man comes into command and mastery of the powers and the talents that are within him, he is actually commanding the good that God has put within him to be what he wants to be, do what he wants to do, have what he wants to have, and in turn, he can make a contribution to others and to the common good. You see, we try to help people become self-found, because you're not successful until you find yourself. This is why people fail in relationships. This is why they fail in life, because they don't know themselves. The Greeks had the saying, man, know thyself. But Jesus said, you shall know the truth. You've got me preaching now.
No, yes. And let me say, though, that I think, would you admit that what made your program really sell is you were teaching it to essentially
let me tell you, the white people are paying me $10,000 an hour now to do prosperity seminars, because they understand the power of the mind. Black people were not brought here and taught the power of the mind. They were not brought here to use their minds. They were brought here to use their behinds as slaves. And too many black people are still into this thing, and they don't understand the power of the mind. A black militant said to me in Chicago, Reverend Ike, what are you doing to help the black people? I said, I'm giving them positive self-image psychology, positive self-motivation. He said, that ain't S. And people have got to understand the power of the mind. Black people, and any people for that matter, need to understand mind power green power and vote power. And I'm preaching this from the pulpit, which is not the usual kind of gospel that you get in a black church or any church, unless it's one of the mind science type churches. And this is unusual for a black man to tell people about the power of the mind. A black preacher is supposed to be telling people about the pie in the sky by and by when you die. And I have the audacity to say, you can have it now. I have the audacity to say, hey, listen, you don't have to wait until God comes back from vacation. God is within you right here, right now, and you can get in touch with this God power and be what you want to be and do what you want to do right here, right now.
That's right. That's facts. See, when you have been trained a certain way to not understand where you at and where God at, then you're going to look outside of yourself, and God is right in you, and everything that you need, you already came here with it. And once you come to this realization, because it take a realization, because we have been taught to not understand the mind and go off into some arenas that ain't connecting us to the divine. And that is our problem. And that is the whole world problem. It's not just in America or South America or North America. It's all over. Know thyself. And when you know thyself, you will know where God is. And I tell anybody, go read Psalms 139. Read the whole 24 verses and see what I'm telling you. This information, what I'm teaching and pointing to people, shedding light on. This is old information. This is not new to the 2026. This has been out for decades. That's why the rich stayed rich and the poor got poor, because they understand these concepts of the principle of the absolute rat now, and how to use the tools that the Creator himself gave to every man. And that's the problem, because you think a certain way. Let's go to my other guests. I got a lot of guests tonight. I'm just bringing them on. Okay.
One day you'll come to see that only God exists. There's no such thing as independent, separate persons. Only God exists. So what does it mean? All these forms will disappear? No. The belief in their separateness will disappear. Pure consciousness doesn't mean there's no thought. No, it means that they may arise, but they are ineffective against the purity of consciousness. Meaning that you have transcended the need to be different from this and that. You've transcended. So your beingness is returning to its original God nature. Like that. Only love is there. Joy. When I say there, I really mean here. Okay? We use word there. There's no there. You have to drop the T. Everything is here.
Everything is here. If you understand this principle, and it's so simple, and people miss their blessing because I'm not coming the way they want me to come, or talking all in a suit and all that. But I'm telling you something, that these people that I got on this screen that coming in here was the ones I started listening to, the books I started reading from, the ones that I admired, and my life changed for the best. So I know from experience what I'm telling you is real and that it's work. And so here's the thing. When you miss the information about meditation, you're going to stay in the shadow. You're going to stay in fear. You're going to stay in doubt. You're going to stay in debt. You're going to stay in poverty. You're going to stay in lack. It's just going to be limited of your success. All of this is what being without the divine causes. It causes limitation. It causes death. Meditation is what brings you closer and closer day by day in love and happiness and joy and peace and prosperity. It brings you well-being. It brings you salvation just by meditating. And that is the power that people missing, because what this world have given you is a form of this ignorance. This world has given you an ignorant way in thinking, and when you do that, you in somebody else's arena. When you are without meditation or some form of spiritual practice to get you in oneness with the divine, you now entered into an arena that you cannot win in. It is designed for you to fail and fail rawly. This, we talking about spiritual failure. When you can have all the success spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially, just by sitting still. Because it's a con game to keep you in the arena of ignorance. Ignorance means to ignore. When you ignore the divine substance that you are and you are in, you're in some trouble. It's some trouble going on. See, I don't been on both sides, and I understand that side of ignorance, ignoring the divine, just running, and just kept running. And I'm going to show you a story in the Bible that it goes over our heads when we just looking at it from a carnal mind standpoint of view. But when you look at it from a spiritual point of view, then you can see all the meat and the honey and the bread and the biscuits. You can see all of that in there because you understand what it's saying then. But see, when your third eye is closed, when you got the beam stuck in your third eye, you can't see the power. You can't see it. And then they run the con game on you. And so many people don't realize that the ancient peoples of this planet, that's all they did, meditate. Let me say that again. That's all they did was meditate. And when they meditate, they create. You create as you meditate. It's like you got to understand that everything around you, everything that you have, everything that you want, everything that you know, everything about you is God. Everything. You in the realm of goodness. But That is grace being given to you to accomplish some of the things. But see, like the Bible say, in order to enter into the kingdom of God, you got to come to God like a little child. Childlike. Yeah, you got to. But you don't know the goodness. And that's where we have to point it out. I'm telling you, that peace that surpasses all understanding. It'll guard your heart and mind. That's why the 23rd Psalms, they say, yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadows of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff comfort me. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, because where I am dwelling in the house of the Lord. When you come into meditation, you entering into the kingdom. This is what they don't want you to know. They ain't gonna push this kind of video because they don't want you to stop watching the outside arena. Like in the garden, she was looking at that tree so much and she forgot about the invisible power that she was walking in, that she move and have a being in. And these thoughts got twisted. Why? Because now her thoughts was not single, it was duality, good and evil. Her eyes had came open to what? To a dual cross-sided reality. Her eyes got crossed up into realities, and that's what happens. Yeah, but you can come out of it through meditation. Eventually, all of us will come out of it. But you can live, like Reverend Ike say, you can live right now in a place of love and do, be, and have all the things that you desire right now. Because God is ever present. And he already said yes and amen to everything we desire. That is good. The opulence.
Marley said something interesting. He said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, because none of them can stop the time. Stop here.
Bars.
Now,
Bars.
the prophet spoke.
Indeed.
Okay. These groups, okay, are not above nature, the universe, and God.
Natural disasters prove that every time.
Every day. When we look at these groups, we are looking at what they are advertising themselves to us as. This is a propaganda and perception game. Bob.
That's right. This is a game. When you wake up to reality, the true reality, by meditating, and you understand this game, you're gonna be like, wow, man. Now this ain't for the weak and hard. I know it ain't. But the truth is, you got to try to get to God. That should be everybody's sole desire. That should be everybody's sole desire, to leave this planet and to go or not leave this planet, however the universe is designed for you, but to live on this earth knowing that they know that God is in their presence and they're in the presence of God and they are one with that. I'm telling you, that is here, and people that really understand this, they live in a devout and divine life. Really. A good one. Because the universe did not send us here in this realm of what you say dreams without having the foundation sought for us to return to the source at any given time. I don't care where you at, you on a plane, you can close your eyes and go into the divine. You can go into the kingdom right there. You can be in the middle of the jungle and just sit on the log and close your eyes and anywhere at any time, you have access to your creator force, your creator source, your divine divinity. You have it right here, right now. And what brings you close and what puts you in harmony is just sitting still, going into the silence, into meditation, or just contemplating on divine. That's it. I'm telling you. But if you don't know this science and understand the truth, guess what? You'll never be free. You'll never be free of how you want to be. I'm gonna keep it 100. I ain't finna sit up here and sugarcoat it and try to tell you there is another way. It ain't no other way to get direct contact with your creator, your divinity, your higher self, your God, your all, the absolute divine mind. You got to learn how to meditate. And well, you ain't even got to learn it. Just sit still and close your eyes. That's all it is. And acknowledge the presence of being. And that you're one with it. And this is what you'll grow to. See, and I tell people these things because the truth come to me, because I'm seeking truth, always seeking to be better than I was yesterday. Always trying to be in the presence and consciousness of divinity, because I don't been out there in that meat grinder. I don't seen what life would do without the source, your body, your mind, and soul. Shit, no. Oh my God. No, I ain't doing that no more. I seen it. Because I opened my eyes up, my third eye opened up, my inner eye opened up, because the affliction that I was taking on, boy, I said it had to be another way. And then I remembered when I was sitting down, being still, quiet, listening. I changed. And then I met a whole nother dimension of life that I didn't even know exists within me. Know thyself. Meditation. Liberation comes through you. Let me see. Let me go right here. Since y'all don't believe me, let's go right here. Now I know I'm gonna run this by 2 or 3 times, because I know for a fact this man right here gonna get your attention. Yeah, wait, hold up. Yeah.
I'm 52 years.
3 signs that you.
I'm 52 years old.
Mr. Jackson, what would you say to all your fans that have dreams and goals of being a star like you?
No matter what, the most powerful thing in the world is the human mind.
Watch this. 3.
Mr. Jackson, what would you say to all your fans that have dreams and goals of being a star like you?
No matter what, the most powerful thing in the world is the human mind, and prayer, and belief in yourself, and confidence, and perseverance. No matter how many times you do it again until it's right. And always believe in yourself, and no matter who's around you that's being negative or thrusting negative energy at you, totally block it off. Because whatever you believe, you become. Yes, and after all of that, the most important, stay humble. The humbleness that a child, like a newborn baby, has. Even though you become powerful or have power with people, with your talent, or with what Michelangelo did with sculpting, underneath all that, be as humble as a child, as a baby, and as kind and giving and loving. Never become puffed up with pride.
See, he know the game. He know the game. And that's the whole thing. Just like we all have read these scriptures and we all been through things. When you enter into the kingdom of God, you got to come in like a little child. Well, what a child do? Go watch your kids when they was babies. Go watch it yourself when you was a child. Did you have to provide for yourself? Did you have to protect yourself? Did you have to clothe yourself? Did you have to do all that? And if you did, you didn't have no childhood. When you was a child, you had protection and guidance and nurturing. And the universe is telling you, why you acting like you grown? Put your time and effort in me, and trust in me, in the things that you can't see. I already made it a way for you to provide and take care of yourself. But we all think that this universe is lying to us, but it's the other side that is lying. It is the side of society, the way they don't build it. It's lying to you. Your 5 senses is lying to you, and that which you can't see, telling you close your eyes to this realm of material world, and I'll show you the greatness. And that's what you got to do. You got to sit down and meditate on these to reap the benefits of goodness. Sabbath. Here's the real meaning of Sabbath, which is Saturday, which is every day. This is what the universe is calling to you and telling you that every day is a Sabbath. Every day. Listen what it said. Meditating, metaphysic meaning of Sabbath. Sabbath. The true Sabbath is the state of spiritual attainment where man ceases from all personal effects and all beliefs in his own works, his all personal effort and all beliefs in his own works, and rest in the consciousness that the Father abides in me, doeth his work. When he understand the true spirit of the Sabbath, we cease from following prescribed rules laid down by a church and open our mind to God, rest and peace. We rest from outer work, cease daily occupations, and give ourselves up to the meditation or the study of things spiritual. The Sabbath is kept anytime we enter into the spiritual consciousness. Meditation is where you need to be at much as possible, and rest from thoughts of temporal things. We let go of the external observance of days. We even lose track of days when we meditate, just to stay in the presence of the divine. And guess what the benefit is? Guess what? Because every day is a Sabbath on which we retire into spiritual and worship God. See, when you cease all this stuff, what the world told you to do, and all what your mama and them told you, all what your family and them told you to do, then you're going to realize how blessed and blissful you are. And you're going to be like, wow, I didn't even know this can be even possible. I'm telling you, the possibilities and the love that God has opened for me, I can't even explain the goodness. People won't even understand it, to the real talk. And maybe I'm gonna share it sometime with y'all, but it's just like you got to realize how good we got it. But we got to renew our mind. The substance loves us. It's a beautiful thing, and this is good though. It's a good thing because people will, you might not catch none of this stuff I talk about right now, and you might not agree with none of it, but it's gonna be a time, you better believe, that you're gonna look at these videos and say, man, now I understand what DaVirgo was talking about. I completely understand. Some people can't understand it because of beliefs, the five senses, and all of that stuff blocking. But once you get over that threshold of thought, then you're gonna realize, but this reality is not what they telling us. They running a con game on you because the divine is all there is. It ain't nothing else. We don't even exist, really. It's only God. But the way our mind has been tricked, informed, we can't step into the divine dimension because we so busy, like Mary and Martha in the Bible. Which one it was? Mary was up jumping around, cooking, washing dishes and all that, and Martha was on the floor chilling, listening to the mastermind Jesus. And then her sister got mad because she was doing all the work and all she was doing is listening. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to sit down every day, meditate. You're supposed to meditate long as you possibly can and see how close you get to God and see how your life and your desires of this, and you're gonna see because once you start seeing the truth, this reality gonna look stupid to you. Things gonna change because when you start looking at your old nature and your old self and the way life was when you moving like this, you're gonna be like, wow, why didn't I change before? Boy, I tell you the truth. This is so beautiful. I want the whole world. I can't even talk. I want the whole world to feel this joy. I really do, man. That's why I be trying so hard to tell people.
Ignore reality like this, you'll experience a quantum leap. The vision that you have, it's not random. The vision that you have of having a wildly successful business, of being extremely wealthy, of being able to create the impact that you desire, that came to you simply because there's a version of you who's already experiencing it in another dimension. And you don't have to earn your way to this materialized version of reality. All you have to do is pay attention. And by paying attention, you begin to align with this version of yourself. See, right now, you are looking at reality through the form of your assumptions. And your assumptions are just showing you the distance between where you are and where you want to go. So that's why it's important to ignore reality. Now, by ignore reality, I don't mean just stay in imagination land. Just only think about the vision. Forget the present moment. No, I'm simply saying be in the present moment. By ignoring reality, I'm saying ignoring your conception that you have of reality in this present moment. Ignore the narratives that you are telling yourself about this present moment. Ignore that reality and stay in alignment with the version of you who has already completed the things that you want, who has already scaled their business to that number that you have in your heart that feels so expansive and juicy, and you're like, this is the number where I'll know I've made it. I want you to accept that you've already made it and then ignore reality when it tries to tell you otherwise. Ignore the narratives around, but this is where we are now, but this is what's in the bank account, but this is how many clients are in our world, but this is how many people are reaching out. Girl, if you don't ignore that shit and just be present with what is and just see it as numbers, they're neutral. See the people as objects in space. There's colors, there's shape, there's sound, there's feeling. You're adding the narrative. And the narrative is just your assumptions. We got to shift the assumption at the core, and you do that by just staying aligned, by paying attention to the version of you who's already done it.
And that's how reality shifts. That's how you shift from carnal mind to divine mind. You stop paying attention to the wall need to be painted or the car need to be fixed. All of these things is important. But what you look at, I need a new house instead of the wall need to be painted. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna get a new car instead of fixing this old. That's how we hit. That's what the universe is telling us, how we can use our mind to elevate our thinking in our consciousness, but you got to harmonize. Well, meditation is the way. Meditation, prayer is this. When you see something in your head that you desire, that is prayer. You just sun it out. Because the universe look at images. Let me say that again. The universe look at images. Words fall short. So when you, oh Lord, thank you. See what you telling the universe, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy of what you telling me I can have. When you give thanks to what you just seen in your head, thank you for that $100,000. Thank you so much. And feel it in your heart. That's what the universe represents. Now, that gratification is a feeling that you already have it. The universe is divine substance that fills every crevice of this universe. And we have been led to believe that the universe divine mind is so far away from us, we got to die, which we cannot die because we are spirit energy, so we cannot die. So you missing the blessing that you should have because you're under false pretense. Let me go back to KRS-One. I'm going to play him one more time because I don't think people understood Bob Marley. When I looked at that, I was like,
Marley said something interesting. He said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, because none of them can stop the time. Stop here.
Bars.
Now,
Bars.
the prophet spoke.
Indeed.
Okay. These groups, okay, are not above nature, the universe, and God.
Natural disasters prove that every time.
Every day. When we look at these groups, we are looking at what they are advertising themselves to us as. This is a propaganda and perception game.
When you realize they gave you the game in Genesis, but people won't pick the game up and play it. You got to pick the game up and play it. They gave you the game. We're going to show you propaganda, and we're going to take you out of your divinity, and you're going to believe everything we tell you. And when you believe everything we tell you, now anybody come with the truth, you're going to push them away, because the truth is you already have your life mapped out because you in the divine. Everything, if you read in the Gospels in the New Testament, it tell you we move and have our being within God. What are we? We in God? So if God blessings is yes and amen, why are we suffering? Why are we going through all of this? Because you won't sit down and close your eyes. Go read the Samson and Delilah story. Samson fell in love by the trickery and the woo-ness that Delilah tricked him. And then once she tricked him, the Philistines blind him. But while he was blind to the outer realm, he was building up his divinity because he couldn't see the outer realm. He was locked in this way, and he pushed all the pedals down. These little stories is to tell you that you are spiritually blind. And the only way you get your sight back is to meditate and get close as you can daily to the Creator. When you meditate, see, you right here now. When you meditate every day, you get a little bit closer and things start dropping off. You're going to feel the weight, the life force, and all that ignorance. You're going to feel it dropping off of you. So when you get to that point where you don't practice every day, you got a routine of meditating, you're going to start feeling different. Life going to start being different. Everything you going to change. That's why it's so important. This is the way to the kingdom that is within you. Ain't but one way, and that's through closing your eyes and sitting still. Listen, when I was in Cambodia, we went to the temple, and I used to wonder, why does this man laying down? He laying down like this. Guess what? It's many ways to meditate. You ain't just got to be in the lotus pose. Just sit down in any kind of chair, close your eyes and think about the substance and call on the spirit of truth while you got your eyes closed. And I don't care if you laying down. I don't care if you sitting on a bench, anywhere. Just close your eyes. Now you just entered into the kingdom of God. You're in the presence. I know it sounds like that ain't the way it is, but that's just how simple it is. Look at your life. Just look at how you got to cook, clean, wash clothes, go to work, do this, take care of this, do that, all this, did it, that was in it. Always moving. Always moving. No rest, no peace. That's how simple it is. Why? Because it's designed for you to keep busy so you won't sit down and become godly again. Oh my God. He tricked them in the garden. He tricked them, the foolishness of this world. With the foolishness of this world. It's just like dangling a string of food for an alligator. And you know you ain't gonna get close to get to him. And we just like puppets on a string. Listen to what it said. When you get to the Sabbath, which the Sabbath is every day when you in the presence of God, just think about being in the presence of God. That old song, Walk Around Heaven All Day, that was real. But they was talking about when you die. But I'm talking about you can walk around in heaven right now. When you know what you know and see. Well, I got to put the voice up on that. My bad. But here's the thing. When you realize that you in the presence of divinity, when you realize that, then your life is changing. These folks wrote this book. They wrote all these metaphysical things to show us the other side. Now it ain't my bag if you don't get it. It ain't my bag if you don't research it. I don't did what I had to do. I love giving this information because I know it changed my life when I got closer to what the divine. But here's what I'm telling you. Listen, the Sabbath is kept anytime we enter into spiritual consciousness, and rest come from thoughts of temporal things we let go of. The external observations of days become, because every day is a Sabbath on which we retire into spiritual and worship of God. You in the presence of God when you just sit down and close your eyes. And now here's the thing: when you sit down and close your eyes, acknowledge, listen, acknowledge being, whatever you call it. You acknowledge it. I call it divine substance or being, but you acknowledge it and honor it and be thankful that you in the present, and see what happens. Just keep doing that. Just keep doing it. It say, whatever you desire in your heart, you shall give it. You shall receive it if you faint not. Jacob was fighting the angels of God where it bruised his hip. They changed his name to Israel. Israel means one who will prevail. Well, in order for you to prevail, to be Israel, you got to be willing to change by the renewing of your mind. Well, how do you do that? Just sit still. Not by my power, not by my might, but by the Spirit, said the Lord. See, when you sit down, you being exerted, go and read Psalms 139, 139. Go read it. You've been watched all your life. You've been watched. You've been exerted by the Spirit that is around you. Everybody read the Bible, but guess what? The Spirit was hovering over the earth. Okay. So where the Spirit go? The Spirit's still here. The Spirit is still here. But they keep us focused on Jesus and Moses and Luke and John and Jeremy and all them folks. Guess what? They took our attention off of the Spirit. They might say the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, but you don't go into detail because they don't point you in that direction to say that the Spirit is here to take care of you. They ain't gonna tell you that. Why? Deaf, dumb, and blind. Listen, let me read what he said about substance. Let's go back to Sabbath. Now listen, most of y'all gonna fall out with me, but that's okay. I'm cool with it because I know what I know. And when you know something, you just got to tell the truth. When I read my readings, I know how it feels to me, you know. Now listen to what it said. We just gonna start and say John 14:10. When you understand the true spirit of the Sabbath, okay, we cease following prescribed rules laid down by a church and open our mind to God's rest and peace. We rest from our outer works, cease daily occupations, and give ourselves up to meditation or the study of spiritual things. That's how awesome it is. Meditation will bring you from that 9 to 5 that hustle and bustle, that woulda, coulda, shoulda, I want mentality until divine essence. And when you get in there, after a while, everything you desire start falling in your lap. Every protection you need, everything you desire start falling in your lap. That is the all good that is around you. But guess what? The Rockefellers and the Rothschilds changed the game. They changed the whole game. And they put us in the spiritual headlock. That's what Bob Marley was saying. You the only one can liberate yourself. I can't do it for you. I got to do it for me. I'm telling you how to do it. I love you enough to give you this information. Because that's the only thing we got, love. We all one. This game that they've been playing, we supposed to be surfing and scuba diving and on yachts, having parties, just enjoying and meditation. It just, then we go party again and come back and meditate. That's how we're supposed to be living. Because this reality is not what they gave. They gave us the wrong reality and they put us in that mindset. They gave us a reality to benefit the rich of this land. But I love all of them. I ain't mad at them about it, but it's the way they did it. But I'm glad I discovered myself. And that's what I'm trying to help people to understand, the goodness that is all around them. I mean, this is good around you, that if you acknowledge that it's around you, it'll start guiding you to the truth to set you free. You spirit. Spirit take care of spirit. Spirit recognize spirit. Just like game recognize game. Spirit recognize spirit. What is it? Okay. Listen, I'm gonna put this one up. Cause we read this all the time. They gave us I don't know it all by heart, but here's what I'm telling you. The last little portion of, well, I'm gonna put the whole thing up to let you see it. And so we can see it. This song right here, if you read it with a spiritual eye, it's giving you the game that been played on you. But I'm gonna read from the third verse. It said, restored my soul. He lead me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Listen to what it's telling you. It's a pathway to righteousness. Well, what is the pathway? Meditation is the pathway for his name's sake. Well, here's where we finna go. Yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadows of death. Well, what is the shadows of death? The shadows of death is the ignorance around us with these five senses that we don't bid into. We've been played so bad, we think everything we see with these five senses, taste, touch, and hear, and all this is reality, when it's the shadow. The real reality is when you sit down in meditation and tap into the only life is on this planet is God. We one with it. These are shadows of the light of death. And guess what? Long as you playing in the shadows, ain't no telling what will happen to you. I will fear no evil. Well, evil is ignorance. For thou art with me. Listen, the rod, and thou staff, they comfort me. Well, what he's telling you, the rod and the staff mean royalty. That you are royalty. When you see a man with a staff, you know he got some kind of royalty about him. If you look at the Pope, he walk around with a rod or a staff or a wand. Guess what he do? Thou prepare a table for me in the presence of my enemy. Well, who is your enemy? The one that lying to you and telling you that this reality that you see working and killing yourself and all of this mayhem, murder and killing all around you, all this stuff, that is not true reality. That comes from ignorance. Anointed. You already anointed. They say Jesus was anointed. You are anointed too. Thou anoints my head with oil. What is the oil? The oil is the spirit of the substance that we walk in, we move and have our being in. And guess what? My blessings, all my blessings, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. The only way you're going to get in, dwell in the house, you got to know where the house is. You got to know where the front door is. If you don't know where the front door is, how you going to get in the house? That's the game, bro. And the game is keep them out of the kingdom. Long as they keep you out of the kingdom, you ain't finding that rest. You ain't finding that peace. What do you say, old Riri? I ain't even gonna try to quote it. We'll skip that one. But you got to find the rest. Well, where the rest at? Sit down, close your eyes. You ain't got to put your hands together. You just put your hands on your lap. Just be still and go into the silence and try to have nothing running. Just sit down silent and get into a practice. Because guess what? You've been in the ignorance. You've been ignoring this for a long time. So it ain't just going to happen overnight. You got to pull away from the ignorance to come into the marvelous light. So it's going to take time for you to do it, but you got to build a practice. I'm going to go back to Jacob. Jacob hip was pulled out of place, that sciatic nerve. That's why the sciatic nerve is so important. It represents will. You got to have will to sit down, and Jacob wasn't going to give up until he got the blessing. You got to sit down and be still until you get the blessing. And then you're going to not want to get up, because the simple fact is the blessing is going to be so abundant, your cup going to run it over. Because you back where you're supposed to be. You don't supposed to be going and, let me go to this. You don't supposed to be killing yourself every day. I'm telling you. When I stopped, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was just, it was, because that shit was killing me. And I know that. But I know I had a job to do. And this was it. And that ain't it. To tell the truth. And the truth is, you can think these, what you see. You know what they used to say? I don't believe half the things I see, and I don't believe nothing I hear, or something like that in that percentage. But these eyes is designed for you not to see beyond this fake reality. So you got to go into the reality through closing these eyes until these eyes start becoming spiritual, so you can see what is around you. You think God, just think about it. If you believe in anything, just think how cruel and mean and vicious that would be to leave us in this meat grinder, what we call society, and not have a way out of this, that would be cruel. Everything gonna go down the drain. But he told us to pray this way: Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So if it's beautiful in heaven, we can go inside and be beautified because we close to our natural habitat. And when we come back into this dream world, when we walking around, driving around, we'll be so delighted, so abundant, so happy, so beautiful, and everything is so lovely. And we ain't got a care in the world. And we ain't got to worry about nothing. Telling you what I'm experiencing. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I'm just a passionate person, and I love to teach this, and I love to tell the truth, and I love to live in the truth. But don't knock until you try it. Sit down and meditate. Just start. You know, you ain't gonna be able to do it for long because it's gonna be things popping off in your head. You got to be Jacob and turn yourself into Israel. I'm gonna say that again. Start off at Jacob and wrestle with it until you become Israel. Why? Because it's beneficial to your spiritual walk as well as financial. Your whole world finna change if you start meditating. That's what they don't want to tell you. They ain't gonna tell you it's a way to get back in the garden, get to a paradise. If there once was a paradise, it's still here. Well, where is it? Within. You got to go in and bring the paradise out as it is in heaven, so it shall be on earth. You got to go in this heaven because meditation is the door to the kingdom. Go down into yourself, sit still. You ain't got to do nothing, just sit still. The spirit will do the rest. And as you grow and develop, you will start seeing your reality outside of you change because you are divine. You one with God. You tell God that when you go in the meditation, I'm one with you. I'm coming to you to let you know I'm one with you. I am the Christ, the Son of the living God. Tell it that and see what happens. You're going to change. And when you change, your situation around you going to change. I'm telling you, if I could just tell you on live TV what all the blessings that don't happen to me in the last 5, and I'm putting up 4, but last 5 years, it's amazing. It's pretty amazing. I ain't even know stuff like this couldn't even happen until I started listening to different people, started reading books, started just putting up all kind of willingness to change, to be the best I could be. And God did it for me. That's all I could do. But that is how we're going to start off this first segment of Meditation Sunday. I don't want to preach or nothing like that, but I just want to tell the truth and help you understand that let me see. Let me read this one. 15 and 23. What is it? And just tell the truth to help you get free. Because it's within your grasp and in your reach. It's in you. Now it came to pass as they went into certain villages. All right, let me show you what I'm talking about the Bible. If you see it with a spiritual eye, you can see it's telling you the same thing I've been telling you for the last hour. Now just look at this clearly with a spiritual eye. And when I shut it down, go back and read it again, and then read it again and read it again. You got to read at least 3 times because we was, and read it out loud, because we have been put through this meat grinder to dumb us down to the third power. But listen to what it says. Now it came to pass. Let me go to 37. And he said, he that soweth mercy on him, then said Jesus unto him, go and do thou likewise. Now it came to pass as they went that he entered into a certain village, and a certain woman named Martha received him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary, which also sat at Jesus' feet and heard his word. But Martha was grumbling about much serving, and came to him and said, Lord, doest thou not care that my sister had left me to serve alone? Bid her therefore that she help me. Now listen, and I want you to understand what is going on in your world, and you can stop it right now and start today meditating, getting closer to thy Father. And Jesus answered and said unto her, Martha, Martha, thou art careful and troubled about many things. Martha, Martha, thou art careful and troubled about many things. But one thing is needful, and Mary have chosen that good part, which shall not be taken away from her. Now listen to what I'm telling you. Listen what Mary is doing. First of all, she had Jesus' feet. That meaning that the mastermind Jesus is in this story and is saying that she have been thinking on a higher principle, and she's at the feet of Jesus, meaning she's in a sitting position. She is relaxing. She is chilling. She's not moving. She's listening to the spirit that is coming from Jesus, or what are all the words he is saying from a spiritual point of view. She is sitting still, but her sister is grumbling and moving around and cooking and serving and doing all these things. That's the everyday life of people. They're not sitting down, listening to the divine. They moving, shaking, troubled, caring about everything in the world. They troubled, always too many things going on in their mind. Just like the Buddhists in Japan say, you got too many minds. You troubled about everything. Boy, when you come into the presence of the divine, you have rest. Your mind become peace within. Everything is right here for you. And that's the moral of that story. But see, we'll look at it at another way. She's sitting down, resting, listening. But the other sister, she running around doing all this. I got to go to the mall. I got to go buy this. I got to go pay this. I got to go do this, and I got to have this. I'm going over here. I'm doing this, and I'm doing all this. Just going crazy. And all she doing is, I'm home meditating. And I feel wonderful. I ain't got all them troubles. I ain't got all them troubles. Why? Because I'm sitting down in the presence of divinity, the absolute. Ain't no problems in there. Because my mind been renewed. I ain't gotta do all these things. It get done for me. You can do more with your mind than you can with your hand and feet. You are masterminds, divine minds, overcoming minds, prevailing minds. When you read Psalms 139, I used to quote it all the time. I love this song. If I can find it, I don't probably. But anyway, it's you are uniquely, wonderfully made. Psalms 3:9. See, I'm gonna tell you the game. The game is to keep you occupied, and YouTube channels like this that breaking it down and giving you this information and feeding to you. They skip over here because I ain't talking about Jay-Z and Puff Daddy and 50 Cent and Cat Williams and all them kind of people. But I'm telling you something to save your life. This will change your life. God is everywhere. And when you read 139 songs, you're going to say, that man knows something. I'm telling you what I know. And that is one of the most beautiful things. You are awesome. And the only way you're going to get close back to that which made you awesome, you're going to have to meditate. You're going to have to grow a new mind and get out of that old mind. And you're going to feel better. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Meditation is the way out. Meditation is the way out. They didn't want you to find that door. That is the way you find the door to your divinity. And everything you need, desire, have, the deed to do is going to be in there waiting for you. You're going to get cleansed up a little bit. You're going to get baptized in the Jordan. Yeah, like Jesus did. Yeah, like Naaman did. You're going to get baptized. Now, you got to get clean before we put you on some new clothes. Now, we got to baptize. You got to get you right. But, hey, guess what? Once you get in there and get in the presence, you'll see the difference. Real talk. With that being said, know thyself, love thyself, and be true to thyself. I love y'all. One love. Peace out.